Hey, Kashif.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, hi, Tosin.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
I haven't worn a collared shirt in months. How
Yeah,
times have changed.
yes. Tosin, we can't hear you though.
All right, so if we share the deck, within the deck, I have an embedded video. So I would be able to play that directly from within the browser and then the sound will go across.
So just nodding our head. Well, Tosin, we can't hear you.
Yes, sir, that is correct. Good
Okay, now
evening.
Hello.
you turn off again.
Okay, so can I try that right now and just I want to make sure that this works
Mr. Ahmad,
properly.
we're actually live. We are live right now.
All right. Can I proceed, Tosin? Or what's
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Microsoft training session. We have the amazing privilege of having the Microsoft team here with us this evening, just to put us through a few things. And facilitating the session this evening is Mr. Damola Sholanke. We also have with him his team from Microsoft, Mr. Joshua Adikeye, Olabode Awofulu, Jeremiah Sanusi, and Kashif Ahmad. So over to you, Mr. Sholanke. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I would like to first of all say thank you to the MBA for inviting us to be part of your 60th anniversary. We are really thankful for the opportunity to be here and to showcase and pass on some knowledge on our solutions that we know that a lot of the legal profession in Nigeria use. But before we get into it, I just wanted to give a brief overview of Microsoft in Nigeria. And to get started, we've been in Nigeria for almost 20 years now, and we have our head offices based out of Lagos Civic Towers on the 6th and 7th floor, and we also have offices out in Abuja as well, where I am based out of. We have an office for Microsoft employees. We have over 100 employees in Nigeria, and we have very key specific vehicles in Nigeria that as well serve our needs. I think one of those is we have a 1,500 customer support center that is based and is filled with Nigerians who support our customers around the world. And that is based out of Lagos in conjunction with one of our partners, Tech Experts. Other than that, we also have, for the first time, Microsoft has built its development center. We call it the Africa Development Center, which is a development center where we write the core of Microsoft software, and that is based out of Nigeria as well. Other than that, we also are doing some work where we are enabling, the digital economy for Nigeria. For example, the government implemented the 8-point strategy to form the nation. As you know, the draft strategy is obviously to enact an enabling legislation, attract the right infrastructure, and we're very keen into that vision for the country as well. As you might not be aware, there's also a cloud first policy in the public sector where there's a preference for clouds hosted in Nigeria, but as well, we continue to look into that, and we will continue to work with governments to see how we continue to enable, the public sector as well as the nation as a whole to utilize technology that is available. And then we continue to support against the use of technology across the country in many ways. I think you will see from my colleagues as they present some of our uh, over the next couple of minutes of some of our solutions. You would appreciate, the immense amount of investments that these technologies are helping to achieve, and will also simplify your daily lives. So please enjoy the session. I'll be in the Q&A, looking out for questions and answering them as they come along. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference. So I guess the first person that will be presenting will be Joshua, my colleague. He will talk about our modern workplace tools, basically Word, Excel, PowerPoint, but basically focused on some of the new features that you might not be aware of that sort of makes your day-to-day lives easy. Once Joshua is done, we will move over to Olabode. Olabode will talk about our teams and collaboration platform that allows you to engage with many teams across many various aspects of projects that you might be working on. From him, we'll move on to Jeremiah Sanusi, who will talk about our low code, no code platform. And what that does is it allows you to be able to write applications. As you continue to digitize, you will find a need that there are some applications you just cannot buy off the shelf to run your offices. And you might need to just build something very simple, and you don't need a developer to do that. So we've democratized development of applications, and my colleague, uh, Jeremiah will go through that. And then we'll go over to Kashif, and Kashif will talk about Matter Center, which is a platform that he would expand on during his session. Thank you, everyone. Joshua, you're on mute.
Thank you for that. So good evening, everyone. Thanks for having this session with us. Without wasting much time, I would like to show you a couple of things around what Microsoft's suite of solutions, especially the Microsoft Office, can offer, and that's, just to prick your appetite in a bit. So first off, I would like to start with the Microsoft Word. Ignore this paragraph as it is for now. What I would like to show you first off is to see, many a times these days, many of us, when we get onto the system, we spend so much time on the system trying to work. And because of the brightness of the screen, or sort of, our eyes have been affected, and as such, we've got to, take on glasses, as the case may be. So Microsoft has taken the initiative to, put in themes that can help our eyes as we go on with our daily lives working. So I'm sharing my screen. I'm assuming that you guys can see my screen right now. So to start with, I would like to show you the new themes in Microsoft Suite Office that will help, with our eyes, as it were. So to do that, these features, right, it cuts across all apps. So if you are, for instance, in Microsoft Word, and you make a change in Microsoft Word, that change goes with you to Excel, PowerPoint, and the likes, right? And beyond that, because we are cloud-based these days, right, it goes with you to any device, as it were. So if you switch to your mobile, if you switch to another system and all that, you carry on that feature with you. So to do that, you just come to File here, and then you go to Accounts, right? Once you get to Accounts and you activate the Accounts option, you will see Theme. So you can see what comes preloaded is colorful. So you can change it to dark gray, black, or white, whatever suits you. So for the purpose of this conversation, I'm just going to pick on dark gray. And you see, the moment I pick dark gray, my background and everything changed to dark gray. If I go out of this, mind you, I did this from MS Word, right? I'm going to switch to Excel, and then you'll see that this same feature, follows me to Excel. This is Excel, and you can see the dark gray features of my background. If I feel this is not good enough, I can come back to File, go to Accounts, and change it. Maybe black is what I want. I mean, so I change it to black. So that gives me another flavor. If I switch back to my Word, you'll see that the background is already, the theme is black. So that is one feature, one of the very cool features that you can, leverage, to safeguard our eyes as we continue to work on systems day in, day out. I'm going to switch back to the, the one that is colorful, just so I can continue with my presentation. So from there, I would like to also show you, things you can do around translation. These days with what COVID has even presented us and with our client base, we're global, right? You can be in Nigeria and have clients that are outside of Nigeria. 1, 2, that are not even, that English is not even their primary language, as the case may be. So gone are those days that when they send documents, you'll be asking for translation and all that. What Microsoft has done is to intuitively build in translations into, our solution. So for instance, this document that I have, if I want to translate it, let me start with this paragraph header. If I come here and I highlight the document, the part that I want to translate, all I need is go to review. From review, you will see translate. All right. Once you click on translate, you can translate this section that is selected, or you can translate the whole document as you deem fit. And I mean, that's where, and you can also set translation preferences. So if, for instance, you naturally will translate every document to English, you can set it as your preference. Or if you translate any document to any other language, you can set it, as your preference. But for the purpose of this, let me just click on translate selection. And then you will see that, what I have here is that the translator window has opened up. The system is so intelligent to know that, the selection is English. Whatever language that is there, it will automatically detect the language. And then you will see the portion where you need to select the language you want to translate it into. So if, for instance, you want to translate into Croatian, Danish, or what have you, right? You can easily select that. And if it is, French, for instance, for the purpose of this, let me just say I want to translate into, French. Once I click on French, the highlighted text is translated into French, and I can see it right there, right? So if I feel that this is very much okay, all I need to do is just say insert, and then that selection is turned into, French straight up. All right. So another thing I can do is to say, beyond translating, an header, let me see if I can translate this entire paragraph, right? Even if you're speaking to a competent translator, you see, because I have my translator window open, immediately I highlighted the original text is detected, the original language is detected, and then it's also converted to French straight up, right? That shows, how fast, how intuitive these things can get. And I'm sure if we have to, work with a voluminous document, I'm not sure how many hours it would take a competent translator to do this. This, is being brought to us with the power of artificial intelligence, what we call AI, and that is what has been built into our solution. If I can move quickly, right, to another feature that is very, very cool. For us in Microsoft, we preach diversity and inclusion, all right? So even if you have audiences or people who are disabled, who have, sight impairments, all you want to do, and because of they have gadgets that can aid them and all that, you want to make sure that whatever you are giving them, they can easily work with it, right? So there's a feature, a very cool feature that can, translate. Let me undo this translation I did earlier. Great. So what you can do is to say, okay, this text, can you please read them? So once you highlight a text, all right, and assuming you are standing in the home menu, you come to review still. And then you see this button, read aloud. Once you click on read aloud, the text
CIMA supports its members and students with its technical information service, TIS, or their work and their CPD needs.
You see, that is text to speech. Now, you might assume that this is very fast. Nobody will follow through and all that. You can then come to the, side of the window here, where you have the, settings for this text to speech, and then you can adjust the speed. All right, as you deem it. Once you feel the speed is cool, test it again, you will hear it. And then, just
our information specialists and accounting specialists work closely together to identify or create authoritative resources to help members resolve their.
So you can see this appears to be very slow, so you can then move it, forward a bit, and then there you go.
Work-related information needs.
So that's how text to speech works. There are two ways to actually actualize the text to speech, right? So another way is to go to view, right? Under view menu, you will see immersive reader rather. So from immersive reader, once you click, you will see the menu for immersive reader come up, and then you can just say read aloud.
SEMA supports its members and students with its technical information service, TIS, for their work and their CPD needs. Our information specialists and accounting.
So I'm going to pause there. That is to show you how text to speech can be achieved. And if you have people who are impaired, with their visuals, this will be a very good tool for them to use. Moving on quickly, I'm going to move on to how you can leverage office sounds, right? So at times we all spend several hours on the systems, and then you'll be working and then mistakenly you delete something, or mistakenly you insert something where it's not supposed to be. If you don't tune the system to kind of play a sound for you, you probably will not notice it. So to do that, you just quickly go to File. All right, from Files you go to Options, and then in Options you come to ease of access, right? From ease of access, you go to feedback options. Once you turn it on, you can select the sound scheme that you want, be it classic or modern, right? Let's start with classic, for instance, for the purpose of this. So if I say okay, and if I come here and I delete this SEMA by pressing my delete button, you can see the sound, right? That is to tell me that, oh, something has gone wrong, and then you can quickly, make amendments, whether to quickly undo. And the moment I undo, you'll see another sound, all the same, right? So that is the feature of the, office sounds. It helps you, it gives you clues in case you, mistakenly press a button or something. And that is a very cool feature to keep you alert. So once you hear that sound, you know that, oh, what have I done wrong in this instance? And then you can, easily get it, rectified. So I'm going to go back and turn it off. You can play with it, at your own time. You could have, you can try the modern, but for want of time, I'm just going to, move on to the next phase of this presentation. Moving on quickly, I'm going to switch to Excel right now, and I'm just going to show us, some cool features in Excel. I'm very much aware we're talking to lawyers, so you might be wondering, what do I want to do with Excel? But you would agree with me that many of you have, become very technical in nature these days, right? And that's why it's always good to, showcase this so that you can leverage all of the tools that are there. What I've done is to draw some objects here, but if you want to get to these objects that I've drawn, all you need to do is come to Insert, and then from Insert, you see Illustrations, all right? From Illustrations, you see Shapes, and then you can see the various shapes that are available. So all I've just done is to just draw all of these shapes in readiness for what I want to show us. Now, what do I want to show is that Excel now has this intelligence to help you connect shapes effectively. So for instance, if I select this arrow, line connector, the moment I'm on an object, I can see all the points where I can connect to that object. So if I click here and I drag this to the next object, already by approaching that object is telling me where I can drop this connection. And that is a very pretty cool feature. Once you drop it, you see your connector right there. Now, you'll be wondering if it's going to be something that will overlap or something. You can select another, kind of line connection and take it from here, for instance, and I'm going to drop it, on this object. So you can see the way the flow is. If you feel that this window is not enough, you can come here and drag this all up, all right, so that you can see clearly how you're connecting dots is. This is a very pretty cool feature that you can also leverage. So I'm going to move on to something again that I think is going to interest us as we go, because nowadays everybody does data analysis and all that. So Excel is a very pretty cool tool that you can use for that, right? So I've dug up this table. It's a table of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. I called this up from NCDC website, and what I want to show us are some pretty cool, features of Excel, right? When you're dealing with, a two-dimensional table like this, right? So let's assume I just want to see the top 10, states. Once I've highlighted both the states and their figures, right? All I can do then is to go to Insert. From Insert, before now, we don't used to have recommended charts in Excel, and you would agree with me if you've ever used Excel that well. So from here, if you just click on recommended charts, you will see the various two-dimensional charts that you can use. Various types. One pretty cool feature I want to show you is what we call the funnel chart. The funnel chart, the way funnel is, right? From the largest to the lowest, like that. And this is a pretty cool tool that you can use to present data to people, and they can easily understand it, right? If you are not too cool with this style, you can choose another style by pointing on the chart styles, and then you will see the various, styles that are available. Whichever one suits you most, you can put it there. I would like the one that show me the figure on each of the lines. So I'll stick with this one, for instance. And you can then begin to edit your charts as you want. All right. This is a very pretty cool tool that is new. It's called Funnel Charts, and it's something that you would really, really enjoy. Another thing I want to point to our attention here, I don't know if you saw it. By the time I was at recommended charts, right? You will see that there is a map chart here. This is one cool feature for 2D maps, right? Now, because I'm selecting states in Nigeria, look at what Excel has done intuitively, is to drop the map of Nigeria, select the states, and then show you a key to say from this point to this point, which is the highest. And then you can see the different shadings and, states and all that. This is a very, very pretty cool feature that you can leverage if you're dealing with your international customers or even, nationally, right? So you can demonstrate, good, cool features of, data representation to your clients, as the case may be. Moving on quickly, I'm going to switch to PowerPoint. Many of us, know that presentation today, is very, very cool with PowerPoint. The first solution that comes to mind for presentation is PowerPoint, right? So I'm just going to show us two pretty cool features in PowerPoint, right? Maybe three, right? If time permits me. First one is to say that if you have a large presentation like I'm showing right now, to do to your customers, right? You want to make sure that you organize those presentations in a way that even for you easily, get by, right? So this feature is called the Zoom feature, right? To do the Zoom feature of all your presentation, you will need to, first of all, do sectionalization of the presentation, as the case may be. So if you have, things like introduction, like what your typical agenda would look like, right? So maybe for an agenda point, you have 5 slides for it. You will naturally do segmentation for it. To do that, I've already in this presentation I'm sharing, I've done something like sectionalizing it. But let me just quickly show you how to do sectionalizing. Once you come to home, you see this section. And then once you click on section, you then be able to sectionalize your presentation as you want, right? Now, I've done the section for this, right? So let me just take you to the features as it were. Now, to do the zoom effect feature, just be on the first slide and then come to insert. From insert, you will see zoom. This zoom is not like you want to, go out, something. It's just to do a zoom of your presentation. So if I click here and I say zoom, I have these options to follow, either to zoom to a section or to zoom to another slide or the entire presentation. And I mean, it's natural, just let the system do it for you, right? So once I click on summary zoom, the system is intelligent enough to let me know the first slide of every section that I've created. So section 1, section 2, you can see the highlighted, slide there. This section 3, this section 4, down the line like that. Okay. So if I say insert, and before you insert, you can already see that there are 5 sections because I can see 5 slides selected, right? This tells you that I have 5, sections in this presentation. If I say insert, the next thing that's going to happen is that it's going to insert a summary section, for me. So if I come here, I can just call this one executive summary of my presentation. And then I can quickly come here and say, you know what, I don't want this slide type. So let me change this slide type to something that I can relate with. Once I click on home, I can come here and say, you know what, help me to change slide layout. And I can say, I want it to be on a blank slide. So you see, that's my slide. That's my summary. All I can do now is just, blow it out. So by blowing it out, I've, done summary of my slides presentation as it were. Now, if I want to start presentation, all I need to do is just click on, slideshow, right? So once you click on slideshow, you see my executive summary. Now, with my mouse or with my cursor, as the case may be, I can go to any section that I want, right? So let me say I want to go to most productive section in this. Once I click on most productive, it takes me to that section of the presentation. And then I can begin to move either by by pressing enter or by using my mouse or the pointer, as the case may be. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on. Once you get to the last point of the section, it takes you straight up to where you start. You see, it's taking me back to the executive summary that we just created. So from there, I can say, okay, maybe I want to show something around most secured. Once I click on that, it zooms in into that section, and then I can continue my presentation. It makes your presentation so professional, so cool to present, and people can easily flow with you. And even if they ask questions at the points, where you are, you know the section they are referring to, you can go back to the Zoom summary, and then you can, dive into the particular section that you want to talk about. That is one pretty cool feature that I want you to see. And lastly, I would like you to see, how PowerPoint has, come up with very, very intelligent help for us. So many of us don't really like to do so much, stress because we are not that imaginative, right? The system recognizes that, and there is a design assistance built into the system. So for instance, as on this slide that I am, if I want to change the look and feel of this slide, all I need to do is to come to design. All right. Remember, I've put text and all of that on the slide, right? So once I'm on design, on the far right here, you see design ideas. Once I click on these design ideas, the system would, do its work and come and suggest to me the various ideas that it could come up with that probably would, present this slide better than I have done. All right. So if, for instance, I want to look at this now, just come here and say, what does this one say? Oh, okay, it's change the look and feel, the arrangement of my wordings. Is that what I want? Or is it this with some graphical representation of, the things I've put there? Do I feel cool with this? Or is it this guy that I want, which is, not too far away from what I have put there? You understand? Just, pretty cool stuff that you can leverage. And depending on, all of these things are born out of the text and whatever that is on the slide, right? So if you just type your text, do all of what and you don't really know how to put the slide together, these design ideas assistants would help you to bring everything together. So lastly, I'm going to show us how to insert icons or any other thing that we want to insert, as the case may be. So permit me to insert a blank slide into here. So now on this slide, right, I want to insert some pretty cool stuff that you can leverage, right? So if you come here and I want to just insert an icon as the case may be, all I need to do is just come to insert. From insert, you'll see icons, right? So if once you click on icons, the system will go, it has a lot of, preloaded icons that you can leverage, be it business, like, be it communication, be it security, be it animals, be it technology, science, and on like that, right? You can leverage a whole lot of things, that arts and all that. But assuming, I know we're a gathering of lawyers, right? So Gavel is something that comes to mind very easily. So I'm typing Gavel. That's if you can't find what you're looking for, just type the word, and then if the icon exists, you'll see it. So you can select multiple, or you can just select one, right? For the purpose of this, I'll just select this, black Gavel. And once I say insert, the Gavel shows on my black screen, blank screen, and then I can adjust the color. I can adjust the shape as I want. All right. That's one pretty cool stuff that PowerPoint gives us, right? And then to leverage it further, if I come to graphics format, I can actually convert this graphics into a shape, and then I can work with it as I want. So by clicking on convert to shape, right? Once you convert it to shape, I can then come here and say, you know what, I want to change the color of the line. I want to change the color of the fill to something funkier for people that likes funky things and all that, right? So, and that is how to insert icons. All right. One pretty cool stuff after this is to try to insert the 3D models, right? So because everybody's gone 3D these days. So once you do come to insert still, you see 3D models, right? Once you click, if you have stored your models on your system before now, all you need to do is just say this device, right? Let the computer search this device for you, or you say get to look for it anywhere else, right? So as the model, as the 3D models load, you see the various types of models there are depending on what you want. And as you scroll, you definitely will not see everything. So if you have something in mind, all you need to do is just come and type it, just like we typed Gavel the other time. So for me, a cup of coffee is a must every morning. So let me just say coffee. And then voila, you see different, types of cups of coffee, being displayed, right? Let me pick this. I like my coffee black. So once I pick it, the next thing I'll see is that the system will import that 3D object into, my presentation, and then I can begin to work with it as I want. Just the moment it will come now. Yeah. So you'll be wondering, oh, but this cup, when we saw it, we were seeing what was inside, right? So first thing first, as it is, you can begin to reshape the cup, to the size you want. All right. And then the beauty of the 3D feature is that once you come to the middle here, it means you can turn this thing however you like. So by coming here, I can, twist the cup until I can see, some coffee, right? Which is not too far away from what we saw earlier. That's the beauty of 3D. If I so wish that I don't want my cup to be left-handed, I want it to be right-handed, all I need to do is just come to the middle and then, turn it. All right. Great. So that is a cup of coffee that you can use as an icon, as a 3D object and all that inside your presentation, and everything looks pretty much cool. So whatever idea you have, just, follow the steps, go to insert, go to 3D objects, and, type to search for the word that relates to what you're looking for, and then you can bring it on onto there. This is where I hand over the baton to my next colleague, and this ends my own presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope it has been useful to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Joshua, for that session. Thank you very much. I'm answering questions in the Q&A. I'm sure Joshua is free now. He can also answer any other questions for you. Over to you, Olabode.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Okay, so I'm Olabode, also from Reliance Systems. We're a Microsoft partner, and I'll be taking you through the beautiful world of Microsoft Teams. So please just give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. So here we are. All right. So Microsoft Teams is Microsoft Teams is Microsoft collaboration and chat tool. It's meant to help you collaborate with your teammates wherever they may be around the world. So gone are the days whereby you have a traditional workspace where everyone has to be within the same space in order for them to actually work and collaborate. With Microsoft Teams, you can be in any part of the world and you get to work on documents, chat, make calls, without using voice or video. And as you can see, this is the Microsoft Teams platform. All right, so at the top left, you have the activity button. So what the activity button does is it shows you all the conversations and chats that you've been involved in, and anything you might have missed while maybe you were away or you were not at your system. So as you can see, all the mentions that you've had, all the conversations you've been in, phone calls you may have missed, teams that you are in, where your name was referenced, everything shows up here. So basically, this just helps you to make sense of what's going on and help you keep track and catch up with things you might have missed on. Okay. So next thing here is we have chat. So with chat, you have one-on-one chats with your colleagues, whereby you get to talk with them. As you can see here, I have my colleague Vivian that I've been chatting with. And also, you can add people to the chat. So you can turn this into a one-to-many chat, whereby you have maybe 2-3 people at the same time chatting with you. And these are people within the organization. Also, you have the call button here for audio calls. You have the video call button, and you can also share your screen too. So the screen sharing feature is actually awesome in the sense that if you need to give a presentation to your colleagues, or probably you need assistance to something, you can really share your screen and then have them help you out with it. And it also gives you the ability to also give control to that person that you're sharing your screen with. So let's say, for instance, you're working on a document and you just need some clarification on something, or perhaps you are having issues with your laptop. You could easily share your screen with an IT person or someone that can help you and give control to that person, and that person helps you resolve it without him having to leave his desk. So at the bottom of the screen also, we have the format button. This enables you to actually type text in paragraph, so like a formal text editor, whereby you can edit your text, add indents, paragraph, and the likes. And also we have the delivery option. So what the delivery option is all about is you are trying to get someone's attention on things, whereby you are trying to communicate with the person and it's something urgent. You can easily set the chat to urgent, and that person keeps getting a reminder every 2 minutes for the next 20 minutes via text and also via pop-up on his screen, whether it's on his mobile phone or on his laptop. That's on his mobile phone, he has the Teams app installed. So, let me just send Vivian a message. Please be on standby. So I'm going to click the send button here. So for every 2 minutes, she's going to be getting a pop-up on our screen, and also an email will be sent to her to alert her that I need assistance in Teams. You can also attach files. So, I'm very sure we're all familiar with this pin button. So once you click it, you can either attach files from your computer, upload from your computer, and you could also access your files stored in your OneDrive for Business, which is the cloud storage option that comes with Office 365 that gives you 1 TB of storage space. So you can store as many documents as you want. Documents, files, videos, anything that you want really. And also you get to send emoji So Microsoft is trying to make sure that while you are, serious at work, you can also still have a bit of fun. You can send emojis, you can send GIFs. So GIFs are like moving pictures, I recommend that you do this only with your peers and not your senior colleagues, because not everybody takes it kindly. You also have stickers also that you can send, and there are tons of them, tons and tons of them, and more are being added constantly that you could use. You could also, schedule a meeting with that person. You have the option to schedule the meeting immediately from here. Just go ahead and type a title for the meeting, and whoever is in the chat with you is automatically added in the recipient button, and you can schedule a meeting right from here. So also, if you're chatting with someone from, let's say, China or France, you also have the ability to translate their text using the immersive reader. When you click on the immersive reader, just like how Josh has shown you in Word, whereby you get to, translate text to whatever what's it called that you want. So you simply just click here, click on the play option. So this reads out the old text for you. And if you want it translated, you could choose a language. So they are trying to add more African languages, but for now, this is what is there. So really, there's a whole lot of languages, and they are adding more as we speak. So let's say I want this in French, okay? So just like Josh showed, you could do it by word or by the entire text that I'm trying to translate. So I'm just going to do by word here. We click play. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. All right, so I have to keep the entire document. So as you can see, this is now in French, and you could also play it, it's going to come out as French. So I'm not sure if you can actually hear my screen. If you could hear the audio, I'm not sure if I'm sharing my audio. So yeah, Teams enables you to chat with people that are, using another language. So like they say, language is no longer a barrier anymore once you are using Teams. So the next important bit is Teams. So with Teams, we have what we also call Microsoft Teams. So it's more or less like a group whereby you have people inside the organization and also people outside the organization, all collaborating together, sharing files, sharing ideas, sharing information, all at the same time without any issues or hiccups. So everybody gets to talk all at the same time, and everybody can be heard. And how do you create teams? By simply clicking on this team button, you scroll down here, and you see this button that says join or create team. So once you click on it, it gives you the option to create a team. As you can see, these are various teams that I am already part of in my organization. So I'm just going to click on create team. So when you're working on a team, it's always best to build from scratch. If you're working on a new project or a new case. And then you get to choose the type of privacy you want for that team. So if you make it public, that means anyone within the organization can subscribe to that team and have access to all the files, all the conversations that are being shared. Or you can make it private. That way people need to contact you, that is the owner of the team, before they get permission to join the team. So I'm going to make this private for now. So I'm going to give my team a name. Let's say Nigeria. versus Samuel. So this is a good use case of this is, let's say probably your law firm is probably working on a case and you are also collaborating with another law firm. You could create a team, add members of the organization into this case, and then also invite members of the other law firm that are collaborating with into your team, and then you guys are able to collaborate. So let me just create this, give a description. Nigeria versus Samuel. Okay, so I'm going to click create. So we get a prompt that the team is being created. Nice work. So here is where we get to add members to the team. So I'm going to add Vivian, my colleague. And another beauty of this is, so let's say the law firm that you're working with, probably they are using Gmail. So we think it doesn't matter the sort of platform that that person is on. So far, they have a working email address. You can add them to your team. So for instance, let's say I will follow at gmail.com. So you get to invite the person as a guest, or let's say Oladayo at skylab.com.ng. So you get this option to add Oladayo into your team as a guest. So I'm just going to click add. So what happens now is each individual member here is being sent an email, which gives them instructions on how they will be able to access the team and collaborate and also make options. So as you can see, because Vivian is part of my organization, she's going to come up as a member, while every other person that is not part of my organization is going to show up as a guest. So I'm going to close this. So this is the workspace for my team. So to the left there, Nigeria versus Samuel. I'm going to click on General. So General is a channel. So channels in teams are basically subtopics. I think that's the best way to explain it. So for instance, let's say Nigeria versus Samuel deals with maybe more than, let's say it deals with finance and another bits of law, maybe criminal law and the like. Maybe it's a very big case. Forgive me, I'm not too good with law terms and whatnot. So let's just assume that it's a big case and you need to compartmentalize the case in the sense that you need various people working on various documents at the same time. So with channels, you could create sub-teams simply by clicking here on this option here and click on Add Channel. So let's say we need someone working on finance. Give a brief description. People working on finance. All right, so you get to set the privacy also. So the beautiful thing about this particular option is that you are allowed to actually set the privacy. So if you make it standard, that means everybody within the Nigeria versus Samuel team, the group, has access to this particular channel, that they can access the files within it, they can see the conversations that is happening. But if you set it to private, that means that only people you add within this particular channel will then have access to it. And the caveat here is that whoever you're adding must already be part of Nigeria versus Samuel. So you can't just add anyone from outside. So they need to be part of the team first before they can be part of the private channel. So I'm going to set it to private and I'm going to click next. So I'm going to add Vivian. Now, I'm going to attempt to add someone that I didn't add into my Nigeria versus Samuel. And you see that that person's name will not show up. we didn't find any matches because I didn't add them. But if I type in Oladayo's name from Skylab, see, it shows up that Oladayo is available to be added. So I'm going to add both of them to that private channel. So again, it shows that Vivian is a member of my organization. Meanwhile, Oladayo is a guest. Another useful feature of this is, let's say probably you're working with another law firm, such as this, and I don't want people from the other law firm to have access to another channel whereby me and my team are like, collaborating, people within my organization. I could create another channel and simply add people within my team, that's my organization, into that channel where we can have our own private discussions and possibly share other files so that the lawyers from the other law firms that we're working on don't have access to that channel. So that's a beautiful example of what you could use channels for. So as you see, it's basically just like the chat, but instead of chat here, you have posts whereby you get to, communicate. And you can also grab people's attention by using the @ symbol. So when you use the @ symbol, it gives you a list of everybody within the channel, and you could easily select someone. So this is like getting the person's attention, calling the person's attention that, okay, you are the one that I'm actually talking to, or this question is directed at you. Are you there? So it shows the person's name, and then the person also sees this as a mention in their activity right here. So when the person clicks on activity, it shows that I have mentioned that in a conversation so that she can go ahead and join. Another beautiful thing of Teams is that it enables you to integrate with other applications. So that way, it helps you become more productive and also aid your working. So for instance, let's say in this team, I need to create a quick poll on our next course of action. Maybe we should go to court or not, and we've been deliberating. So using Teams, I could simply call up an application called Forms. So I'm just going to click Forms. What can I do? So I can create a new poll. Loading. So I get to type in the question. Do we go to court or not? So automatically, because I chose that, it enables me to, populate the various options that I can have. I'm going to make sure that I turn off multiple answers because I don't want people answering more than once. So I'm going to click next. So this is a preview of how the poll is going to look within the team. And I'm going to click send. So yeah, it is. So everyone within the team is going to get to see this as it is. And then they can go ahead and, make a vote. So I'm going to click yes and submit my vote. So as you can see beneath it, immediately you get to see the answer in real time. So there's no room for mago here. Everybody sees what everybody has voted for, and you can only vote once, depending on how you set your options. So there are a lot of other applications that you can also integrate with Teams. There are also other applications that you can integrate with Teams. There are a whole lot of them. So quickly, let me show you the calendar. So like I said, this is also, the calendar is where you get to see all the various meetings that you have, accepted and, you are probably preparing for. So this shows you an overview of all the meetings you have for the week, Monday to Friday. You could also make that week. So it shows you from Sunday to Saturday also, in case you have a type that works weekend or probably have meetings during the weekend. So this shows you all the meetings you have. And you can also create a new meeting yourself by clicking on new meeting. So just like I showed you during the chat, simply create a title for your meeting. Let's say case discussion on Nigeria versus Samuel. So you add the required attendees. Now, the beauty of things is you are not just limited to people within the organization. And again, people that are outside the organization don't necessarily have to also have teams in order to be able to collaborate with you. So they don't need to have the application downloaded or installed on their system. But they can still, join your meeting, see what's going on. They can also still present from their own end, and just have access to a lot of features. So I'm going to invite Vivian. So just like before, I can add other people from other organizations into your teams. You can also add them into your meetings. I'm going to add, let's say, Chinoye at skylab.com.ng. So you see, automatically it gives you the ability to invite Chinoye that is outside the organization into your meeting. Okay. Also, and then you get to send it, so they will receive this as an email, and they will see it as an email, and also have the option to either accept, decline the meeting, or give a tentative response that maybe they'll be coming in late or they're not sure whether they'll be attending. So all this gets sent back to you as a response, so you can see who will be attending the meeting and who won't be attending the meeting. So I'm not going to be sending this. And also, this Teams also gives you the ability to create what we call live events. So live events is similar to what we are having right now. You can do this on Teams with up to 20,000 people join to the event at once. So you get to create that from here, give a title to it, a location, set the time and date that you want it, and just go ahead and send out invites to people. Also, you can make calls on Teams to people within your organization and to people outside the organization. And also, actually, another feature turned on for me. You can also make Teams. You can also use Teams to actually make voice calls to any network domestically or internationally. But that depends on how your organization has configured it. So it takes a bit of extra configuration and settings for you to be able to do that, but it is quite possible. So right from Teams, you can make calls to any network, either here in Nigeria or outside the country. And also you can also make calls, just like I showed you earlier, to anyone within the organization or outside the organization. So there's one more important feature that I am yet to actually show, and that's the ability to co-author documents. So for example, let's go back to my team, Nigeria versus Samuel, and let's say we need to work on a brief. So if I click on files here, this shows all the files that we have that have been shared within the team. Or I could simply create a new document right from within Teams. So I'm going to click create a new Word document, brief on the case, and click create. So what you notice is right from within Teams, without having to open Microsoft Word, Word is already opened right from Teams. So that means that you could use Teams as a work tool throughout the whole day without having to open Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. Everything is right here for you. And what this does is it enables you to actually communicate with other people. It enables you to work that quarter document. Let me add someone to this team. So I'm going to add another member. So I'm going to add Damola to the team. So he's not a guest. He's going to be receiving an invite via email telling him that I invited him to a team. So another thing you could do from here is you could also dictate that you don't have to actually type. You could also dictate, hello. So because I'm actually on the call right now, the mic for the Teams is not picking up my voice. But as you can see, the red button is there. You listen that it is listening to my voice. So any word that you say actually gets dictated. Because I'm on another call using another application, it's not actually going to pick up on my voice. And another beauty of it is, Damola, can you please access the thing and try and see if you can access the document? Let me also see if Vivian is available. So, like I said, right from within Teams, you don't even need to go outside to get your work done. So, it's easy for you to easily switch. So I'm just going to switch right back to where I was, click on File, go back to my document. All right, Damola, have you been able to access the file also?
Yes, I have.
So another beauty of it is you can leave comments for people. So I could create a new comment. So when Damola accesses the document, when he clicks there, he's going to see the comment that I have left for him. And this doesn't affect the document in any way. So by the time you make the final edit of the document, all the comments that have been left on the document will be taken away so that, you are left with the document in full. So let me quickly show you other things while we wait for Damola to access the document and, make his own edits. Another beautiful thing about this current feature is gone are those days of you having to send an email. So yeah, that's Damola right there. You just said, "Hi, thank you." So gone are those days that you need to, send an email for approval, send a document via email for approval, or probably send an email with the document back and forth, trying to get people to work on that document. With Teams, you could easily upload the file, share it, and then have people work on that document with you at the same time and in real time. So this is all happening in real time. As you can see, we just literally type that. Also, once Vivian joins, she's also going to, make edits on her own. So, we could just have like different sections of that document and various people working on it. So this essentially just makes work faster and more productive. And someone can just be there, having an overview of what's going on and who's working and who's not working, especially when you need to get things done when you have a deadline. All right. So another thing I'd like to touch on is files. So files essentially lets you see all the files that you've worked on recently within Teams. So it shows you everything. So these are all the files I recently worked on that have been shared with me that I have also touched on. You have also Microsoft Teams. So these are, the files again. Then download. So these are the recent files I've actually downloaded from my Teams. So this just helps you to keep track of what you're doing and what's going on. And also your OneDrive. Again, like I said, Teams is basically a workspace whereby you literally don't have to leave in order to get your work done. So with OneDrive, I have access to all my files stored on OneDrive right from Teams. I can make edits, I can, create new files. I can also upload directly from my computer, copy links, or I can easily open it in a browser. Now, another special app. So like I said, Microsoft Teams is a great with other applications. So my organization, Reliance Support Systems, has come up with what we call the digital workspace. So because we know that Teams, all your work can also be done from Teams, but we also want to also keep you informed of what's happening around you. So we created this. So this shows my organization, my entire, all the things I have access to, my productivity tools, updates, bulletins across my entire organization so that I don't miss anything at any time. So as you can see, it is pulling directly from my email also. So right from here, I can, go through my emails, respond, make replies, people that I work with recently, the teams that I am part of, and the conversations that I've been having, my calendar, right from here also, so meetings that I'm going to be having, announcements. So probably in the organization, if you have announcements, maybe birthday parties or meetings that are coming up, various things you can have them here. And the beauty of this is it is customizable. So it works for different, anyhow you want to customize, with your various applications, we could help you with that. So this is just an example of what we did and what is important for us in our organization that we all need to be a part of. Also, we are getting our tweet feed from Reliance. So, us being mentioned on Twitter, we get to see all of that. So it's quite beautiful. And from here, you can also launch applications in case you need to launch it. And this is our line of business apps that we are using in-house. So you also have apps that you use in-house that we customize for you already. We could also include them here and launch it. Or we could help you also build your apps too. So this shows us more of those apps. There are a lot of them split across different categories. So all you simply need to do is just search, and they all do amazing things to help you make your work faster. So really, basically, anything that you're looking for, it's right there. You just need to search for it and engage it. So yeah, that's apps. It brings you here. Then also help, in case you need to learn more about a topic or probably see what's new in Teams. You simply click on help, it shows you what's new. And if you also want training on it, you click on training. So it takes you through everything that you need to know about it, tips and tricks that you can use to make work faster and easier. Also, another beautiful feature that Teams uses, and also it leverages what we call Microsoft Stream. So when you have a meeting, right, and probably as that meeting is going in, you can record that meeting. So in the event that someone needs to leave, or probably for compliance reasons, you need to have a recording of that meeting. You can record all meetings that you have on Teams. And that meeting gets saved to what we call Microsoft Stream. So Microsoft Stream is the video sharing platform for Office 365 that allows you to store company videos into Office 365 and also share it. I'm told that my time is up, but I'd love to show you how that works also. But essentially, you're allowed to, record your meetings and share them as you need, so that other people that are not part of that meeting can also, get to experience it and see what was said and, be brought into the know. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Buddy. Thank you for that very detailed and insightful session. Buddy works with our partner, Reliance Info Systems. So, but again, in the comments and the Q&A session section, we are providing answers to all of your questions. So please keep them coming. The next colleague will be Jeremiah. I know we're out of time, but Jeremiah, please keep it short and straight to the point. And we still have Kashif on queue as well. So please let's keep it short and snappy. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
all right. Thank you. Thank you, Damola. Hi, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. I hope you can hear me. All right, cool, cool. Okay, thank you. If I could just share my screen. See, share. Okay, all right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and it's a great privilege to present to the conference. So briefly, I'm going to talk about the Microsoft Power Platform. And then I think it's of worthy of note to really start with the main reason why we would even think of going the Microsoft Power Platform. Why do we need Power Platform? This is the typical business environment in every organization. You have about so many applications that you have to write to automate. So you have processes that are typically your back office process, like your expense retirement, things around leave administration processes, or things around purchase requisition, finance processes, payroll, you have budgeting, and you have a whole lot. And I mean, I understand that we have a lot of legal firms on the call. You probably have some specific applications as well that are bespoke and customizable to your organization. So imagine you having all these lots of applications to build to automate your processes. So typically what you will do, right, is to either employ the services of an IT specialist, or you probably just outsource that service. And now you imagine the kind of gaps, sometimes these applications are built and then they are not scalable, right? Because the application guy understands a language, the business guy understands another language. And so you have to go through iterations of tests. You have to test the application again, trying to make it work again, go through series of UAT sessions and all that. And so, but what we've noticed is that in this digitized world, right, when we're talking about digital transformation, it has to be things delivered to you, with speed. So services, stuff that you are able to do when you are empowered with the right technology to do that. And that's exactly what Microsoft Power Platform actually presents to you. We have a low-code platform. That means you have no need to be a developer. You do not need to be an expert in software engineering. You do not need to know how to write scripts. All that is required of you is if you can really talk to a process, right, from start to finish. Okay, so what are the blockers? What are the placeholders? What are the things that we should look for in an application? Okay, what are there going to be any input parameters? Okay, what are the things I'm going to supply to the application, and what is the expected output? So the Power Platform gives you that base where you are able to take your business knowledge, because you are the subject matter expert in that particular unit or department. So you take your business knowledge and then you transform it into very simple standalone applications that you can reuse anywhere. And the Power Platform actually, offers a wide variety of standalone applications, as you can see on my screen. So the Power BI, I'm sure many of us are familiar with Power BI being an analytics platform, then the Power Apps being an application development, and then Automate also being a basic application that helps in automating our processes and all that, and also the Power Virtual Agent, which actually helps to build bots. I'm going to show you something regarding the bot in just a while. If I could just quickly go into the application so we can appreciate what the Power Apps actually represents. So this is a typical Power Apps development environment. And then what you are seeing on the screen are things that basically you're very familiar with. All the components, the plugs, right, the machinery that you need to build very simple applications. So start off is where will your data reside. Okay, so the data sources that are available with flagship platform, which is the Office 365. You have Excel, you have SharePoint, and some more complex data sources that you can source or keep data in. All right, and then if you just scroll down, we've also provided you with enough numerous templates that you can actually take and scale up. So these are templates that you can use, and with them you can now transform and customize to suit your own specific business needs in your organization. All right, so as you can see, we have templates on budget tracker. So perhaps you have some blockers there, trying to spin up an application that helps you in tracking your budget in your organization. There's a template for you already that you can actually leverage. Okay, so we have a template for leave request. Okay, so how do your employees, how do people in your organization request for leave presently? Is it still manual based? You still have to scramble a lot of papers. You still need to send emails, right? So, and it's very difficult to keep track of, right? But with a simple application from this template, you're able to just, just a 2-3 steps, clicks, you're able to submit your leave request and then it gets approved. And then we have templates around case management. We have templates around expense retirement. And I'm just going to show you in a bit what that expense retirement application simply looks like. So for example, this is an application I built in about 30 minutes before the call, right? So it's as simple as this. Yeah, the look and feel, I mean, something that actually can be added, right? So what you have here are basic components that are required or necessary in an expense retirement scenario. Okay, so I have pending retirements that are probably submitted for approval that is yet to be approved. I have maybe an expense retirement that has been approved and has left my queue. Or do I have a new one that I need to create? Okay, let me just do a quick show of how to create a simple expense retirement using this Power App that I just built. All right, so the retirement report is for, let me go back to Monday's date, 24th of August, and then, yeah, and then it ended on the 25th of August. I'm going to name this NBA transportation, report. Yeah, just for the lack of a better word. And then the approval will definitely be a user within my organization. So because all users, we are in the same tenant, we are in the same Active Directory. Okay, so automatically it picks this particular user that resides, that's also a user and employee within my organization. So when I create that report, what now happens is that I'm able to add my line item. The line item is very important for me, okay, because that's where I'm going to put the financials, right? So when I click on add new line item, I want to just give this another title, line item for transport. And then what category does this belong to? Is it for filing of processes? Is it, did I have lunch with one of our clients? Or was this basically what what I named it for transportation? So I'm just going to stick it to transportation. How much was the cost? Okay, let's say I spent 2,500 Naira. Good. So I'm done with that expense retirement. Now, what happens is that, it presents to me the report. Okay. So if I have the need to edit this information for accuracy, and then it presents to me the line item that I had already submitted, should I have any need to correct anything for reconciliatory purposes before I'm asked to submit it. So when I submit this report, and what happens is that for the administrator or for whoever needs to have an overview and oversight into everything that goes in through this app can have access to that using SharePoint. I told you earlier that we have lots of data sources, okay, that actually holds your information, that holds your resources. So, and then that's the one I'm using for this demo is SharePoint. Now, yeah, so this was just the line item that I just submitted like a minute ago, NBA transportation report. So you can see it has the approval name, it was submitted today, and there you have it. So as simple as that, that's just an example of how a simple application that before now you could probably have to send an email to your finance representative in the organization, or you have to send an email, or you have to attach receipts and all that. just with the help of this simple app, you are able to just automate that process from end to finish. The other one I'd like to show you is, as we all try to, beg your pardon, as we all try to return to work, right? As we all try to return to work now, it's very important to keep safe and make sure that, that facilities have the capacity to, are we able to see my screen? Uh, oh, okay, sorry. Share screen just a minute. Okay, I think it's back on now. All right, so I was going to show us the Return to Workplace app. This is an example of another application built on the Power App, right? And we understand that as organizations, as various bodies try to return to work, it's important that you return safely. It's important that the health of your employees and then the safety of the facilities are well vetted before everybody gets in and starts working, right? So this was also built on the Power Hub, and what I want to do now is to get a day pass, okay, before allowed to I'm allowed entry into the property. So when I click on this get day pass, it by default maps me to the facility um, that I'm associated with. So in your own case, it could be your office building. You probably have a branch somewhere in the capital, in the FCT or some other states where you belong. So you're going to have a laundry list of facilities here. Okay, so by default, I've selected this, and then I start an health survey, right? It gives me this disclaimer, which you lawyers are very much familiar with, and then I click on accept. Okay, just to be sure you guys are indemnified. Then I'm asked a few questions. Okay, do I have these? Have I been with someone that traveled the last 14 days? The basic COVID-19 questions. I'm sure we are so tired of this, right? We are all used to all these series of questions. So you can add more. Okay, totally customizable. And so if I say I do not disagree, let's see what happens. I say I do not disagree. That means something is not all that okay with me. What does it say? It tells me it's better I stay at home rather than enter the workplace. So this was actually built using the Power App. And let's say I agree to that series of statements. Okay, yes. So in the last 14 days, where have I been? Do I have any symptoms, fever, excessive coughing? Have I reviewed these, blah, blah, blah? And then I say I agree. It automatically issues a day pass for me. And then this can be tracked accordingly. So there are a whole, host of scenarios where the use of the Power App can really come to play. So when you think of the organization, you think of processes that are still paper-based. Really, anything that you still make use of paper, anything that requires you to make use of paper needs to be automated. And it's something that is in your hands. You don't have to be techie, you don't have to be a developer to build this very simple application. Before I hand off to Kashif, I'm just going to show us quickly what it means to build a simple bot. So like I explained what the bot does, the bot is our own way of the Power Virtual Agent, rather, as one of the members of the Power Platform, is application for building training bots. So what that means is that instead of having lots of questions, having lots of queries from customers calling into your resources, your very limited number of resources, staff that you have in your organization, you can train a simple bot to turn all those FAQs and answer all the queries and complaints and inquiries that they have. I'm just going to show you how. So let's say this is your website, okay? So I call this Jeremiah Chambers. Okay, let's say this is my website, and then I've already trained my bot. I have a visitor trying to find out or maybe trying to request for some consultation services from Jeremiah Chambers. What happens? So it asks me, how can I help you today? This is the bot chatting with me now. Okay, I don't know what to say. I just, probably learned a buzzword from law saying jury. And then it asks me, in what areas do I want the consultation services? So this is how I've trained the bot to say, you know what, in my organization, in Jeremiah Chambers, we have this category of services. We have civil and legal matters services. We have criminal matters. We have property matters. We have corporate matters, and as it were. And that can, go on and on. But in my chambers, this is what we have. And then as a visitor, okay, I'm interested in the civil and legal matters. Okay, I probably have a matter that has to do with divorce or a family case. And then I want to know about contract cases, for example. As you can see, once I click on this option, the bot responds with another set of answers, very conversational. And then it asks me, is it for contract cases, is it family law cases, or is it tort cases? So I'm just going to select contract cases. And so let's see what the bot does again. Right. So I've told the bot that, you know what, before you get this conversation transferred to an actual, a real person, can you please do a lot of handle? Can you show some very basic, quick tips and, show that to the visitor? And then I've already, and that's been expressed, that's been shown to me here. Do I want to read about this contract law here? And if I click on this place, it maybe leads me to a web page. No, I'm not interested in that. Thank you. Are you satisfied with your inquiry? No, I'm not satisfied. Let's see what happens. So automatically, what should happen here now is that it should transfer this chat to a real person. So all this while I've been chatting with the bot, right? I could have been doing all the back and forth with, with a real staff, but really the bot has been able to help me up to this point. And so I need to now get involved in and kind of chat with an actual agent, a live agent. All right, so if you could look at this window, there's a chat request at the top section of this window that says you have a chat waiting for you as an employee. So once I click on accept, okay, so I'm going to be playing dual roles now. I'm going to be playing the role of the visitor and the role of the employee. Okay, so this is now an actual case. And so when I try to interact with the visitor that I just requested to, that I've just reached out to us, I there, right? Can I help you? Or whatever it is that you need to ask, those very basic questions. Yeah, and then the conversations come here again. Beg your pardon. Oops. Yeah. All right, so this is it. All right, so there's this other cool feature I want us to notice. I want to tell them I'm very disappointed. I'm very sad. I have this divorce case is not going well, right? I need some real help and all that. So once typed in that particular keyword, sad, the solution that I'm showing you is so smart enough to kind of translate the sentiment of that conversation, right? It was neutral at first. Now, if you could look at where my mouse cursor is, it says the sentiment is slightly negative. That means, oh, the customer must be having a bad day. So how can we help you, sir? All right. So it depends on how the back and forth conversations go. Right? And then I could, even at this point, need to escalate this chat to a senior counsel. Okay, I don't know how to handle this. And right here, just from this chat window, I just click on here to see who are the available resources, available counsels within the organizations that can handle this particular case. So I've seen a fellow colleague, a senior counsel that I think should be able to handle this particular critical case. And so I had her to the call. So she also gets invited to that conversation. This is the chat request, invitation chat widget, inviting this particular counsel to that conversation. And depending on how the conversation goes, this person also reaches out to the, reaches out to the visitor, and then let's see what happens. So the visitor, are you now happy? Right. Okay. I'm just going to minimize all that conversation and just say, let's say, oh, okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, I am now happy. All right, so I am now happy. I want you to see how the sentiment suddenly changes from slightly negative to slightly positive. Now, all this is possible without being physically present in the chambers, without physically present in the courthouse or wherever the office space is, without even reaching out via the phone or whatever. Okay, so this is the power of the Dynamics 365, which again has been enhanced with the Power Virtual Agent that I showed you earlier. I could go back to the screen. Okay, that shows us how bots can actually be simply created and trained, okay, based on your business needs, and then just presented like that. So when you think of processes within your organization, you think of things that probably has a lot of FAQs. We've got a bunch of series and articles and all that you have to explain over and over to customers, to visitors, to clients before they get to figure out what exactly they want. You can think of using the Power Virtual Agent, train that bot, put all those FAQs, those articles in there, and then if they now need to get transferred to live agents, to real counsels within your organization, then you can make use of the power of the omni-channel for customer service. Mr. Damal, I think my time is up. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope I'll be in the Q&A box if you have any questions for me. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for such an insightful session on Microsoft Power Platform. I guess, where digitization is sort of one of the key topics for the conference, we are going to see a situation where a lot of organizations will be needing to build out many applications. So we hope you leverage this platform as you go ahead. If you, again, have any further questions, please reach out in the Q&A. I'll hand over to Kashi. He's been patiently waiting. Thank you. Please take over.
Good evening, folks. I know we're way over time, and I apologize. Thanks, Jeremiah, for that quick 10-minute presentation that took about half an hour. But look, I'll try to wrap this up quickly. Today, it is really truly my great pleasure and honor to talk to the folks of the Nigerian Bar Association, and I was going to talk to you about Matter Center. Matter Center is a tool that Microsoft built in-house for our own legal counsels, and now we are offering it for legal professionals around the world. And if you are a licensed Microsoft Office user or a Microsoft 365 user, you have access to this tool for free. So before I go into a quick overview of the tool, because I won't be able to spend a lot of time on this, I just wanted to echo all the points that some of my previous colleagues have made. And a lot of it is around the fact that, in the last, few months, the world has truly changed. The world as we know it has truly changed. And what has happened is the way governments operate, the way we do business, the way we meet, even this event by itself is truly an indication of how much the world has changed. And virtual is the new name of the game. And essentially, having virtual hearings, having virtual conferences, having virtual meetings, and technology has become the true enabler for all of us to sort of come together and even with these really trying times, still be able to operate. And this is where, which is perfectly in line with our mission as an organization, which is to empower every person and every organization like yourselves on the planet to achieve more. And with that, I just want to give you a quick overview. I'll play a short video for you folks. And then in a minute or two, I'll try to summarize what actually Matter Center is. We'll share the presentation with the folks from the organization so that if you have more questions, you guys can answer it. But again, apologies for running over, and we'll try to wrap this up super quickly for you guys. So this video is really a quick demonstration of what Matter Center is.
As a legal professional, collaboration and document management are critical for successful client engagement. Introducing Matter Center for Office 365, an intuitive solution that seamlessly ties the best of Office 365, SharePoint, and OneDrive for Business together, managing your emails and documents automatically and allowing you to access your matters centrally from any device, so you can do your job and engage with clients better, faster, and more efficiently.
We didn't have to learn anything new when we started using Matter Center. It uses Outlook.
As a legal professional, collaboration and document management are critical for successful client engagement. Introducing Matter Center for Office 365, an intuitive solution that seamlessly ties the best of Office 365, SharePoint, and OneDrive for Business together, managing your emails and documents automatically and allowing you to access your matters centrally from any device, so you can do your job and engage with clients better, faster, and more efficiently.
We didn't have to learn anything new when we started using Matter Center. It uses Outlook, it uses Word, it uses Excel.
It feels seamless. It feels like I've been working with this my whole life.
The best part of Matter Center is having all of our documents in one place.
It's not tied to any device. I can start working on it on my laptop, go home, work on it from my desktop at home, and look at edits that other people make on my phone or my tablet or anything else.
We're able to access these documents without worrying about the application that's being used. We're able to work within a single interface.
Pinning allows you to select the cases that you're working on most frequently, and then you don't have to search for it. It's a lot easier to drag and drop and store the data. The metadata is applied automatically. By putting in a couple of keywords into Matter Center, we're able to track that information across all of our cases instead of having to go through the hundreds of cases one by one to try to find the data we need.
The great thing about Matter Center is that security is tied to the document itself. Everybody know exactly who can sign in, who can look at it, who can review and edit.
It gives me great confidence, especially with sensitive information.
Having the version control that SharePoint allows you to do in OneDrive is going to be fantastic.
In the past, when I was working with Marty, we would have to wait for the other person to wake up and deal with the time zones differences. With Matter Center, we're both able to access the document and work on it simultaneously.
Whenever we have, half an hour or an hour free to go in, make comments on it, but also see the comments that the other people are making so we can build off of each other.
With Matter Center, when news breaks, I can spend less time focusing on the documents and more time focusing on the arguments.
Matter Center for Office 365. It's simple. It's intuitive. It lives in the tools you use the most.
So folks, hopefully that gave you a quick overview of what Matter Center is. I'm going to skip a few of my slides, but at the heart of the matter, no pun intended, is it enables the tools that you use on a daily basis, for example, Word, Outlook, OneNote, Microsoft Teams, and be able to collaborate and manage your matter and your documents in one place across multiple devices, across multiple, and it's agnostic when it comes to operating systems. So if you are a Mac user, or if you are a Windows user, or if you're an Android user, you are able to use Matter Center, and you're able to use Matter Center to find documents, to find matters. You can pin things that you work on a daily basis that you actually need to engage with at all times. You can drag and drop. You can start with an Outlook email and actually, and how many of you have actually had customers email you documents, or some of your colleagues email you documents that need to be filed as part of a specific matter? You can drag and drop directly from Outlook, and I'll show you a screen real quick that allows you to actually not even leave Outlook, but there is a plugin for Outlook that allows you to open Matter Center within Outlook and actually go and drag and drop your items. This makes collaboration with your other colleagues super simple, and more importantly, it allows you to, Matter Center allows you to really quickly share documents both externally as well as internally with your colleagues. Now, with that being said, I'm going to, again, and my apologies, I'm going to skip a few slides, but the tool allows you to really quickly, within 3 steps, create a matter. You can categorize and give it taxonomy and metadata, and this is completely customizable. It allows you to actually go and create your own. For example, if you want to create practice groups within your organization. For example, if you have a unit that deals with construction cases or something that, or another unit that deals with employment cases, you can actually go and define those. You have different areas of laws or sub areas of laws within a specific industry that you can go and define. And then you can actually define different types of matters. All of this allows you to tag your matters, so that when you're looking for these matters, when you're reporting for these matters, it becomes easier for you to go and track those later on. And once a matter is created, really, as you can see on the screen, you've got a number of documents. In the video, we mentioned that all the security privileges are applied across all the documents in this library. You don't have to go and worry about, do I need to make sure that if this one specific document is done? No, it's across the board. Everything that's stored in this matter will have the same level of privileges. And then in the top right-hand corner, you can see that there's integration, built-in integration with Microsoft OneNote that allows you to actually create or share notes or take notes for this specific matter that can actually be used by the entire organization, by the team that actually this matter is shared with. At the same time, you can actually have a calendar for this specific matter where you can actually put in things like upcoming hearings or some meetings with clients or possibly other claimants or defendants, and you can actually put those, and these actually integrate with Outlook, so that if you create an event in here, it will actually integrate with the Outlook calendars of all the folks who have access to this specific matter, so that they know that, by the way, for this matter, we actually have a hearing coming up in the next week. Again, the experience for Matter Center, we started talking a little bit about, how do you interact? Mostly, a lot of us, if any of you are like me, we spend a ton of our time in Outlook, and Matter Center actually has a plugin within Outlook that allows you to interact, and that same plugin and same look and feel, if you see here in the middle, is available in Word as well. And this is where I'm sure a lot of you folks can relate. This is where you actually create artifacts, where you create work product related to a specific matter. And then rather than saving it, going to another tool, uploading it, Matter Center actually has an add-in built into Word that allows you to actually directly upload documents into a Matter Center. So you don't have to go through a number of the extra steps. And this exact same look and feel translates across the web as well, and where you can actually go and work with matters and interact, upload documents directly using the web application as well. Integration with document management is seamless. It's integrated. It's built in, allows you to search, allows you to pin, allows you to drag and drop documents. You don't have to go and worry about, okay, look, I'm going to do my case management in one spot, but I'm storing all the documents associated with that case or that matter in another spot, and I need to go and open it up in SharePoint. No, you go to one place in Matter Center, you open up your matter, and you can see all of your documents. You can see your calendar, you can see your notes in one spot. Super easy to interact, to collaborate, and to be able to share information. It truly actually changes the efficiency of how your organization or how your law firm will operate. Again, in the interest of time, we're moving a little bit quicker. And one of the issues when we were building this tool, we did a lot of customer surveys. We went out and talked to legal practitioners. And the story behind this tool is that it was built for our internal legal team. And while they were interacting with our outside counsel, they showed tremendous interest in this. And this is the point where we realized, look, this tool can not only help us, but I think it will be really helpful for our customers as well. So as part of the building the tool, we did a lot of customer research. We spoke with a lot of practitioners, and one of the things that came up was that this need of this pain point around sharing documents both internally and externally. A lot of the times documents live in emails, documents live on people's drives, they don't have version control, and eventually some poor sap has to actually take all of those different versions of documents from people's computers, from emails, from different shared drives, and put them together and consolidate them. By sharing the document from one location in OneDrive for Business allows you to actually maintain the version control, allows people to collaborate together on that document, and you don't have to go through this extra inefficiency of merging documents, of consolidating documents. So, and it's done securely. It allows you to take documents offline to be able to work on them and then synchronize back into Matter Center, when you're ready and when you're online again. I already mentioned a little bit around sharing with external customers, and OneDrive for Business allows you to actually do that securely. And one of the key points I mentioned earlier as well is that being able to work on matters on any device from anywhere. You can start off your day by looking at your calendar in Matter Center on your phone. You can see that, okay, look, I've got a couple of hearings and I've got a meeting in the afternoon that I actually need to prepare for that requires me to do some work. All of these things, you can start with your phone. When you get into the office, you log into, you plug in your laptop, you continue working on documents for that matter, uploading it into Matter Center. And in the evening, you can actually go and pull up a tablet and work off of that. So, and it's seamless. Your phone could be an iOS phone, your laptop is running Windows, and your tablet may be running Android. Matter Center is agnostic. It doesn't care. As long as you have the Office products installed and you have access to Matter Center from that device, you'll be able to do your work without any issues. Typically, a flow of what Matter Center looks like, it starts off with you or your customers interacting from your device. The input can come in, somebody submitting something from a portal, documents or emails or information coming in through Outlook, or somebody actually typing up a specific document in Word, preparing, for example, a form, or preparing a document or an affidavit for a specific witness, and then uploading that into Matter Center. And that life cycle can go on until the matter is resolved or until the matter is closed. And then you can actually, the retention policies that you've defined as part of Matter Center kick in and allow you to actually then close that matter. Some of the key benefits to keep in mind, really quick creation and access to your matters, having the ability to, that everything that you've uploaded is full text index. You can search across keywords. You can actually find documents within attachments that you've uploaded. You can actually tag items that you've uploaded so that they're easy to search, they're easy to find, allows tremendous efficiency in collaboration, both internally and externally. You can have shared calendars and conversations on specific matters. Again, going back to collaborating with your colleagues, enterprise grade security. And I know that law firms are all about confidentiality, all about ensuring that documents that are uploaded, or documents that are stored are secure and encrypted, and Matter Center provides you with that ability. And then let's not forget direct integration with both Outlook and Word, and being able to access Matter Center from any device that you actually use on your day-to-day basis. Quick look at the architecture. Matter Center lives in, it's available on top of Office 365. It uses capabilities that are in Azure as well. So it is a very cloud native application. And what I started off with is that it is a tool that is available for free. If you are a licensed Office 365 user, if you're an E3 or E5 license holder, you can go to GitHub and download Matter Center and deploy it for your organization. There are partners that operate, there are Microsoft partners that operate out of Nigeria who actually do a lot of this work, and they can help you as well. With that, I apologize for rushing through this, and I'll conclude my presentation. If there are any questions, I'll review the question box afterwards. But thank you for giving me this opportunity and talking to you folks, and have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Kashif, thank you. Tosin, we can't hear you.
Tusin, we are unable to hear you.
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you so much, Damola, Kashif, Jeremiah. I was so grateful. Thank you so much for what an enlightening and extremely hands-on session. So that actually wraps it up for the Microsoft training session. We can see so many questions were answered during this session, and that actually also concludes day one of the Nigerian Bar Association 2020, the first ever virtual AGC. So that wraps it up for today. Wishing all of us a wonderful night. Okay, so Damola has just put his email address in the chat. So if you have any further questions, please send him an email. That's damola.sholanke, SOLANKE, at microsoft.com. So if you send him an email, he has said that he would get back to you with his response. So any other questions you may have. So thank you once again, our dear facilitators. Have a great night all. See you tomorrow for day 2 of the conference. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Have a great evening and a great conference.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.